Dog breaks into hospital to see coma patient. What happens next will leave you in tears. The Thompson family resided in a quaint, was a dedicated nurse, known for her compassion and caring nature. Their lives revolved around their beloved daughter, Lily, a vibrant 8-year-old with sparkling blue eyes and a contagious laugh. Lily was a ray of sunshine, her days filled with the innocent joys of childhood. She adored her collection of stuffed animals, her playtime tea parties, and the endless adventures she embarked on in her backyard. But above all, Lily cherished her furry companion, Max, a golden retriever with a heart as golden as his fur. Max was more than just a pet. He was a member of the family. He was Lily's confidant, her playmate, and her protector. They were inseparable, their bond as strong as the roots of the old oak tree in their backyard. Life for the Thompsons was a picture of idyllic suburban bliss. Their days were filled with the comforting rhythm of family dinners, bedtime stories, and weekend trips to the park. They were a loving, close-knit family, their home a sanctuary of warmth and laughter. One sunny afternoon, as Lily played in the backyard with Max, her laughter echoed through the air, a melody that filled Robert and Emily's hearts with joy. They watched from the kitchen window, their faces beaming with pride and contentment. "She's growing up so fast," Emily sighed, a hint of melancholy in her voice. "I know," Robert replied, wrapping his arm around her. "But every stage is beautiful in its own way." As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the lawn, Lily and Max raced across the yard, their laughter mingling with the chirping of crickets. It was a perfect moment, a snapshot of happiness etched in their hearts. Little did they know that this idyllic scene was about to be shattered, their lives irrevocably altered by a cruel twist of fate. The following day, a Saturday, dawned bright and promising. Robert had planned a surprise outing for Lily, a trip to the petting zoo. Lily was ecstatic, her eyes wide with anticipation as she skipped around the house, gathering her things. "Come on, Slowpoke," she giggled, tugging at Max's leash. "We don't want to miss the baby goats." Robert chuckled, scooping Lily into his arms. All right, little Miss Impatient. Let's get going." Emily followed them out, a picnic basket in hand. "Don't forget the sunscreen, Robert," she reminded him, a hint of worry in her voice. "Got it," Robert assured her, giving her a quick kiss. "We'll be back before you know it." The drive to the petting zoo was filled with laughter and excited chatter. Lily, perched in her booster seat, pointed out every passing animal, real or imagined. Max, his head out the window, lapped up the wind with a joyous grin. As they approached a busy intersection, a careless driver, distracted by his phone, ran a red light. The world seemed to slow down as Robert slammed on the brakes, the screech of tires piercing the air. But it was too late. The impact sent their car spinning, the world a blur of metal and shattered glass. In the aftermath of the crash, the world fell silent. Robert, dazed but relatively unharmed, struggled to free himself from the wreckage. His heart pounded in his chest as he frantically searched for Lily. He found her slumped in her seat, her eyes closed, a trickle of blood staining her forehead. "Lily!" he cried, his voice choked with fear. He gently lifted her from the car, cradling her in his arms. Emily, who had been thrown from the car, lay unconscious on the side of the road.
"Max, miraculously unscathed,"
whimpered beside her, nudging her with his nose. The ambulance arrived, sirens wailing, and paramedics rushed to the scene. Robert, his mind reeling, watched helplessly as they loaded Lily and Emily into separate ambulances. Max, his loyal companion, was left behind, his whimpers echoing in the empty street. At the hospital, "Lily has suffered a severe head injury," he explained. "She's in a coma. We're doing everything we can, but—" He trailed off, unable to finish the sentence. Robert felt a wave of nausea wash over him. He sank into a chair, his world crumbling around him. His little Lily, his ray of sunshine, was trapped in a silent darkness, her fate uncertain. The hospital became the epicenter of the Thompsons' world. Days blurred into nights as Robert and Emily maintained a constant vigil by Lily's bedside. The sterile smell of antiseptic, the rhythmic beeping of machines, and the hushed whispers of nurses became the soundtrack to their despair. Emily, her body battered but her spirit unbroken, refused to leave Lily's side. She spoke to her daughter ceaselessly, reading her stories, playing her favorite music, and recounting cherished memories. Her voice, though laced with sorrow, held onto a thread of hope, a belief that Lily could hear her, that her words could somehow reach her daughter in the depths of her unconsciousness. Robert, grappling with his own grief and guilt, found solace in the practicalities. He dealt with the insurance company, fielded calls from concerned relatives, and made sure Emily ate and rested, even if she only did so sparingly. He would often sit by Lily's bed, holding her small hand in his, whispering prayers and promises. Max, left in the care of a kind neighbor, pined for his family. He spent his days curled up by the front door, his ears perked at every sound, hoping for their return. His playful energy had evaporated, replaced by a quiet sadness that mirrored the gloom that had settled over the Thompson household. The doctors, despite their best efforts, offered little encouragement. Lily remained unresponsive, her condition stable but unchanged. The words brain damage and long-term disability hung in the air, unspoken but ever-present. One evening, as Emily sat by Lily's bed, reading aloud from her favorite book, a single tear escaped Lily's closed eyelid. Emily's heart leaped with a surge of hope. Was it a reflex or was it a sign, a flicker of awareness from her daughter? She called for the doctor, her voice trembling with a mixture of excitement and fear. The doctor examined Lily, his expression cautious. He explained that it could be a positive sign, but it was too early to tell. They needed to observe her closely for any further changes. That night, Emily and Robert clung to that single tear, a tiny beacon of hope in the vast darkness. They prayed for more signs, for any indication that their Lily was still in there, fighting to come back to them. While the Thompsons clung to hope in the sterile environment of the hospital, Max was experiencing his own turmoil back at home. He sensed the absence of his beloved Lily, the shift in the atmosphere, the heavy weight of sadness that had enveloped his humans. His usual playful exuberance had vanished, replaced by a restless anxiety. He paced the house, whining softly, sniffing at Lily's belongings, as if trying to capture her scent. One evening, as the neighbors settled in to watch television, Max, driven by an unseen force, made his escape. He slipped out the back door, his nose leading the way. He had never ventured out alone before, but a primal instinct, a deep-seated loyalty, propelled him forward. He trotted through the familiar streets, his senses heightened, his heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. Cars whizzed past, their headlights casting long shadows, but Max remained undeterred. He knew somehow where he needed to be. The journey was long and arduous. He crossed busy roads, navigated bustling sidewalks, and dodged the occasional grumpy cat. He relied on his keen sense of smell, following the faintest trace of Lily's scent, a thread that led him towards the towering building that held his family captive. The hospital loomed before him, a monolith of glass and steel. Max, undaunted, slipped through an open door, his heart pounding in his chest. The unfamiliar smells of antiseptic and medicine filled his nostrils, but he pressed on, his focus unwavering. He wandered through the maze of corridors, his paws clicking softly on the linoleum floor. Nurses and doctors bustled past, but Max remained unnoticed, a shadow moving through the periphery. He was on a mission, his every sense focused on finding his Lily. Finally, he arrived at her door. He recognized the scent, the faint but familiar aroma of his beloved girl. He whined softly, scratching at the door, his tail wagging tentatively. Inside the room, Emily and Robert were startled by the sound. They exchanged a puzzled look, wondering who could be visiting at this late hour. Robert cautiously opened the door, and his eyes widened in disbelief. "Max!" he exclaimed, his voice filled with astonishment. "How did you get here?" Max, overjoyed at finding his family, bounded into the room, his tail wagging furiously. He rushed to Lily's bedside, licking her hand, whimpering softly. Emily, her eyes filled with tears, knelt beside him, stroking his fur. "Oh, Max," she whispered, "you found us." In that moment, the Thompsons felt a glimmer of hope, a sense that something extraordinary was happening. Max's presence, his unwavering loyalty, seemed to bring a spark of light into the sterile room, a reminder of the love and joy that awaited them beyond the hospital walls. The nurses, alerted by the commotion, rushed into the room, their faces etched with concern. They were about to usher Max out, citing hospital regulations, but Emily intervened. "Please," she pleaded, her voice trembling, "let him stay. He won't cause any trouble." The nurses, touched by Emily's desperation and Max's gentle demeanor, relented. They agreed to let Max stay, on the condition that he remained quiet and didn't disturb other patients.
Max,
As if understanding the gravity of the situation, settled down beside Lily's bed. He rested his head on the edge of the mattress, his eyes fixed on her face, his presence a comforting warmth in the sterile room. As the night wore on, a strange stillness settled over the room. The rhythmic beeping of the machines seemed to soften, the air thick with anticipation. Emily and Robert, exhausted but alert, watched Max and Lily, their hearts filled with a mixture of hope and trepidation. Then something remarkable happened. Lily's heart rate, which had been steady but slow, began to accelerate. The monitor beeped faster, its insistent rhythm breaking the silence. The nurses, alerted by the change, rushed to Lily's side, their faces a mixture of surprise and concern. They checked her vital signs, their eyes widening with each reading. Her blood pressure was rising, her breathing becoming more regular. And then, the most astonishing thing of all, Lily's fingers twitched. Emily gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. Robert, his eyes filled with tears, gripped her hand tightly. They watched in stunned silence as Lily's eyelids fluttered, her lips moving slightly. The doctor, summoned urgently, arrived and examined Lily with a growing sense of wonder. He couldn't explain it, but Lily was showing signs of consciousness, her brain activity surging. It was as if Max's presence, his unwavering love and loyalty, had somehow sparked a connection, a lifeline to the world she had been trapped in. The news spread like wildfire through the hospital. Nurses, doctors, and even the cleaning staff gathered outside Lily's room, their faces filled with a mixture of curiosity and awe. The miracle dog, as Max was quickly dubbed, had become a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of love and the extraordinary bond between humans and animals. The Thompsons, overwhelmed by the sudden turn of events, clung to each other, their hearts filled with gratitude and renewed hope. They knew that Lily's journey was far from over, but Max's arrival had ignited a spark, a flicker of hope that had rekindled their faith and given them the strength to face the challenges ahead. The story of Max, the golden retriever who seemingly brought a young girl back from the brink, captivated the nation. News crews descended upon the hospital, cameras flashing, reporters clamoring for interviews. The Thompsons, thrust into the spotlight, found themselves navigating a whirlwind of media attention and public curiosity. Their story resonated with people from all walks of life. It was a tale of love, loyalty, and hope, a welcome respite from the negativity that often dominated the news. People were drawn to the image of Max, the faithful companion who refused to give up on his human, and Lily, the innocent child who had touched the hearts of millions. The hospital room became a makeshift studio, with reporters vying for a glimpse of the miracle dog and his human family. Emily and Robert, initially hesitant, agreed to share their story, hoping to inspire others and raise awareness about the power of animal therapy. Max, unfazed by the attention, remained by Lily's side, his presence a calming influence amidst the chaos. He seemed to understand the importance of his role, his gentle demeanor and unwavering loyalty captivating everyone who met him. Lily, slowly regaining consciousness, was intrigued by the furry visitor who never left her side. She would reach out her small hand, stroking his soft fur, a smile gracing her lips. Her doctors were amazed by her progress, attributing it in part to the positive impact of Max's presence. The hospital, once a place of sterile silence, was now filled with a buzz of excitement and anticipation. Visitors, inspired by Lily's story, brought their own pets to the hospital, hoping to share the healing power of animal companionship. The corridors echoed with the sounds of barking dogs, purring cats, and the laughter of children. The Thompsons, despite the intrusion on their privacy, were grateful for the outpouring of support. They received letters and cards from all over the country, each one filled with words of encouragement and prayers for Lily's recovery. They felt a sense of community, a shared humanity that transcended the boundaries of their personal tragedy. However, amidst the wave of positivity, there were also skeptics. Some dismissed Lily's improvement as a coincidence, attributing it to the natural course of her recovery. Others questioned the hygiene of having a dog in a hospital environment. But the Thompsons, bolstered by their faith and the unwavering support of their community, remained focused on Lily's well-being, their hearts filled with gratitude for the miracle that had unfolded before their eyes. As the days turned into weeks, Lily's progress continued, slow but steady. She began to respond to simple commands, her eyes flickering with recognition when her parents spoke to her. Her voice, at first a mere whisper, gradually gained strength, filling the room with the sweet sound of her laughter. Max remained her constant companion, his presence a source of comfort and motivation. He would lie patiently by her bedside as she underwent physical therapy, his gentle eyes encouraging her to push through the pain. He would celebrate her small victories with enthusiastic tail wags and playful licks, his joy mirroring her own. One afternoon, as Emily sat beside Lily, reading her a story, Lily reached out and touched her mother's face, her eyes filled with a deep understanding. "Mommy," she whispered, her voice hoarse but clear. Emily's heart swelled with emotion. Tears streamed down her face as she embraced her daughter. The word "mommy," the most beautiful sound she had ever heard. Robert, who had just entered the room, rushed to their side, his own tears flowing freely. The doctors were astounded by Lily's progress. They declared it a miracle, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of love. They attributed her recovery, in part, to the presence of Max, whose unwavering companionship had provided a vital emotional connection during her long journey back to consciousness. Lily's awakening brought a renewed sense of purpose to the Thompsons. They embraced each day with gratitude, cherishing the small moments, the simple joys that had once been taken for granted. They rediscovered the beauty of family dinners, bedtime stories, and walks in the park, their hearts overflowing with love for their precious daughter. Max, now a national hero, continued to be Lily's shadow, his loyalty and devotion unwavering. He accompanied her to therapy sessions, helped her with her exercises, and slept beside her bed each night, his presence a constant reassurance. The Thompsons, forever grateful for the miracle that had brought their family back together, vowed to share their story with the world. They became advocates for animal therapy, speaking at conferences and sharing their experiences with anyone who would listen. They believed that Max's story was a testament to the healing power of animals, a reminder that love, in all its forms, could conquer even the darkest of times. The day Lily was discharged from the hospital was a celebration. Balloons adorned the hallways, nurses and doctors lined up to say goodbye, and a local news crew captured the heartwarming scene of Lily, hand in paw with Max, walking out the hospital doors and into the sunshine. Returning home felt surreal. The house, once filled with the echoes of Lily's laughter, had been eerily silent for weeks. Now it was alive again with the sounds of her voice, albeit softer, more tentative.
Max,
Overjoyed to be back in his familiar surroundings, bounded through the house, exploring every corner with renewed enthusiasm. Life gradually began to regain a sense of normalcy. Lily returned to school, albeit with a shortened schedule and a dedicated aide to assist her. She faced challenges, both physical and emotional, but her spirit remained strong, fueled by the love of her family and the unwavering support of her furry companion. Max became her constant shadow at school, attending classes with her, accompanying her on the playground, and providing a calming presence during stressful moments. He was a beloved figure in the school community, a furry ambassador of love and acceptance. The Thompsons, forever changed by their ordeal, embraced a new appreciation for life. They savored every moment with Lily, celebrating her milestones, big and small. They found joy in the simple things, the everyday routines that had once seemed mundane. Robert, once a workaholic, now prioritized family time. He took Lily and Max on long walks in the park, played board games with them, and read them bedtime stories. He cherished the laughter that filled their home, the warmth of their love that enveloped him like a comforting blanket. Emily, her nursing skills put to good use, became Lily's primary caregiver. She patiently helped her with her exercises, encouraged her to express her emotions, and nurtured her back to health. She found a renewed sense of purpose in caring for her daughter, her love for Lily shining through every gentle touch and reassuring word. The Thompsons, once a picture of idyllic suburban life, had been through the fire and emerged stronger, their bond forged in the crucible of adversity. They had learned the true meaning of resilience, the power of love, and the unwavering loyalty of a golden retriever named Max. Lily's story, the tale of the miracle dog and the girl he brought back to life, continued to inspire. The Thompsons, initially hesitant to share their personal journey, realized the impact their story could have on others. They began to speak at conferences, sharing their experiences with families facing similar challenges. Emily, with her nursing background, became a passionate advocate for animal-assisted therapy. She spoke about the profound impact Max had on Lily's recovery, highlighting the emotional and physical benefits of animal companionship. She organized workshops for hospital staff, educating them on the importance of incorporating animal therapy into patient care. Robert, inspired by his daughter's resilience, became involved in fundraising efforts for brain injury research. He shared Lily's story at charity events, his heartfelt words moving audiences to tears and inspiring them to contribute to the cause. He found solace in helping others, channeling his grief into a positive force for change. Lily, now a symbol of hope and courage, embraced her role as an ambassador for children with disabilities. She visited schools, sharing her story with students, encouraging them to embrace differences and celebrate the unique abilities of everyone. She became a beacon of positivity, her infectious smile and unwavering spirit radiating warmth and acceptance. Max, the furry hero, continued to be by Lily's side, his presence a constant reminder of the power of love and loyalty. He accompanied the Thompsons on their speaking engagements, his gentle demeanor and calming presence captivating audiences. He became a symbol of hope, a furry ambassador for the healing power of animals. The Thompsons, once a private family living a quiet life, had become beacons of hope, their story touching the lives of countless people. They had transformed their personal tragedy into a force for good, their love for Lily and their gratitude for Max driving them to make a difference in the world. They had found a new purpose, a new meaning in their lives, their hearts filled with the joy of giving back and sharing the miracle that had brought them together. Years passed, seasons changed, and the Thompsons, like the old oak tree in their backyard, weathered the storms of life with grace and resilience. Lily blossomed into a remarkable young woman, her spirit undimmed by the challenges she had faced. She pursued her passions, embraced her individuality, and lived a life filled with purpose and joy. Max, though his muzzle had grayed and his gait had slowed, remained Lily's faithful companion. He was her confidant, her furry shoulder to cry on, her constant source of unconditional love. They shared a bond that transcended words, a connection forged in the fires of adversity and strengthened by years of shared experiences. The Thompsons, their hair streaked with silver, their faces etched with the wisdom of time, continued to cherish the simple pleasures of life. They gathered around the dinner table, sharing stories and laughter. They took leisurely walks in the park, Max ambling alongside them, his tail wagging contentedly. They celebrated holidays with family and friends, their home filled with the warmth of love and companionship. One crisp autumn afternoon, as the leaves swirled in a symphony of colors, Max, his old bones weary, curled up beside Lily on the porch swing. He rested his head on her lap, his eyes gazing up at her with unwavering love and devotion. Lily gently stroked his fur, her heart filled with gratitude for the furry companion who had been by her side through thick and thin. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the yard, Max took his last breath, his loyal heart finally at rest. Lily, tears streaming down her face, held him close, whispering words of love and gratitude. She knew that a part of her would always be with him, just as a part of him would forever remain in her heart. The Thompsons buried Max beneath the old oak tree, his final resting place a testament to the enduring bond they shared. They planted a rose bush beside his grave, its vibrant blooms a symbol of the love and joy he had brought into their lives. Life went on, but the memory of Max, the miracle dog, remained a constant presence in their hearts. He had taught them the true meaning of loyalty, the power of unconditional love, and the resilience of the human spirit. He had shown them that even in the darkest of times, hope can blossom and love can heal. The Thompsons, their lives forever touched by the extraordinary dog who had entered their lives, carried his legacy forward, sharing his story with generations to come. Max's tale became a timeless reminder of the profound connection between humans and animals, a testament to the enduring power of love that transcends even death.